All good. Yeah.
Okay. We know the bottom right's the next spot, but this is a kind of specifically a Mr. Yang move. Most strong players, when they see the three black stones ready for, oh, there's so much to do, the concern is that with a regular pinch, think now we could say that it's 3-1 or 4-1 in black's favor here. It's like, wow, this is too hard for white. So what they do instead is back off. Now they got some breathing room, making it easier to survive. Mr. Yang says, oh, I've beat many top pros with this move. He's not concerned at all. And so I play this on purpose to honor him and to learn these things he has in mind.
And this is the Kobayashi,
Uh,
right?
Kobayashi is the low Chinese, which this isn't. But I could be wrong about that. It's been too long.
I'm pretty sure
I
this is the
remember I
Kobayashi.
grew
Yeah.
up with Kobayashi
Yeah.
when he was a young man with the longest winning streak ever recorded. He was, oh man. And then he'd play Kato the Killer. Oh man. Okay. So how shall white survive? Boom, get out. Boom, boom, boom. White defends, and black defends, and white's like, I'm alive. Yeah, I'm small, but there's not a problem. Great. Go back to basics. Go back to basics. Special. Now, of course, having this white stone survive, there's some black stones around. This is just easier. And the top's bigger for white anyway. All basic. This Joseki isn't used much anymore for black because black's giving white serious strength, absolute life, can never bother white again. That tends to be costly. So we tend to see this instead. Now, white's still attackable. Big difference. But this is 30 years ago. We play Richiseki. Should be playing this way. White's not really thrilled because black descends into this area. So white's going to respond. So black gets that in Sente and can go about his business growing the right. So this isn't quite right. So white takes the vital point, which shouldn't be Sente. Black goes for growing. Okay. Black grows more. Okay, so white's going to invade the right. That's interesting. Let's talk about it. White's not going to reduce. Reducing would be A or B. Most common reduction. White's going to invade. Why? I'm thinking invasion because A Sente. There's a cut at B, which can be peeped or cut depending. We can see the C stone as being weak. Not that it is necessarily. There's just a lot to do here. That's my guess as to why he's thinking invasion instead of reduction, because it should be relatively simple, relatively easy. That's my guess. I've not asked him. Next question, where to invade? One would think there are only 4 choices. Make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with, well, the principle. How do we decide? Notice 2 are forcing moves, 2 are casual moves. Not forcing. If this white stone is healthy, because it has 3 options for health, play it. We're not forcing black to get stronger. We're simply healthy because we have 3 options for health. Is that the case? Let's find out. Option 1, bother black. Real option. Option 2, run out. Option 3, I don't see an option 3. And same case with white's other move, which is here. Not 3 options.
And
So
in that previous example, when white played at B, I guess when white jumps out, then white is both harming that bottom black stone as well as getting out. So I guess the question is, how do you know that there are 2 separate options there? Does that make sense?
let's run through it again. Run out, bother black.
Yeah.
Restate your question.
How do we not know that those are actually two distinct options for help and not the same option? Because it seems like if we jump out at one, we kind of are indirectly attacking, harming
I see.
the black stone.
Since the 2 stone is now weak, it's harder to attack white. It's going to have to spend time defending rather than attacking. That's the characteristic of why black being weak is helpful to us. Running, entirely different set of characteristics. I'm running away, you can't catch me. Are they tangential? Do those 2 ideas touch? Sure, but they're still very different ideas. I'm running away, whether black's weak or not, or black's weak and running helps attack him. Well, still, that may be true, but 2 very different ideas.
Yeah, and I guess if you actually wanted to put pressure on that 2 stone, then you would play a different move than simply jumping out.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah.
But the ideas and the moves, the ideas are very different.
Okay.
Now, to make things worse, I'm not sure I can put this together, but let's try. Let's put it here and move this over to here. Okay. Now we're looking at the A stone. And I'm not going to count options. I'm going to point out that white. So I'm claiming the 1 stone is still weak. We have bothered the 1 stone. And we didn't really move a running direction. Okay, so this isn't working. Let's put it. So the point I'm getting to is that these 3 options, it might be that running in this direction and bothering black, even though it's the exact same move, they still count as 2 options because they are 2 options. Now that's really weird, I understand, but it works that way, honest to goodness. Maybe because if black says, yeah, but that didn't work. Sure it did. I had the 2 options. And let's go with this one. The attack is more meaningful because black is weaker still, which gives white extra. So it may not make, it's true though. Believe me, it's true. Okay, so in this case, the casual moves aren't healthy. So we goes for a contact play. And seeing as how the Aji, let me get rid of these letters. Those are the points of interest. So this contact point makes sense versus this versus C.
Yeah, and
Okay.
The bottom black stone is most likely weak, or at least a little weak, so we prefer not to touch it, right?
Right, and if it gets stronger, then our white group is depending on, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all caught up. Do you have any more questions?
No, that's good.
I know I didn't answer them particularly well.
That's good.
Okay. Black, white. Great. Crosscut is wonderful for creating options. All right, Tari. Oh, pretty move.
And you can tell that
Pretty
White
move.
beautifully used the R14 stone, right?
Yeah.
With that crosscut. Creates
These
so
two
much argy.
stones, they're forcing moves. He'll give them up in a moment.
Mm.
And assuming black captures those, black has spent so many stones in a little tiny area, and white totally invaded the left.
Mm.
Yeah, really big. Beautiful move. The sequences are great. Come on out. Save. Okay, now notice black's weak, so we can do this. Out. We can jump now. White is so out. The invading the right totally worked. Okay. We're not looking at black stones, but white's top area was getting out of hand, so black, snuffed that a bit. Where for white? Let's find out. Any weak white groups? Let's look at the bottom right. Let's say white doesn't defend and black plays here. Life. Okay, so that's life. Instead, let's have black play here so that it's a ko. Okay, so there's a ko there. Well, if black tries to do anything, each threat to live is a ko. Yeah, so that's not going to work. And that's just alive. Okay, so just alive. Nice. White to play. So there are no weak groups. How about for black? No. So on to big areas. Four.
Yeah.
Okay. Now notice in area 5, there's Aji, right? There's a cut. If we Hane, there's an Atari coming up. So white could do that at any time. I don't know the timing of white, but we're sure white's going to do that at some point. It could be now. Or big move. So if he's going to mess with in area 5, I would assume he'd start with A, although starting with B is not out of the question. There's a couple starting points in there. So we'll see what happens there. When it comes to big moves, I would say it has to be 2 and 3, because those are the two big areas that are tied together. You with me on that?
Yeah.
Next question, is he going to invade or take his corner threatening to invade? Invading, I don't see any Aji. Black's really thick there with all the new black stones. I don't see any extra. So I would say he's going to go for the corner, getting ready for the invasion. Let's see what happens. Does that first, okay. Then that, okay. Notice if black plays at A, Tari cut, oh, nasty. Okay, that's all fixed. Back to this. Oh. Why?
Lance, so you haven't seen this game before?
I have numerous times.
Okay.
But there's half a dozen of these games. I didn't know which it was, and I haven't memorized it. I haven't seen this game in, I don't know how many years. Again, these are all from at least 30 years ago.
I guess
Why?
this might be some kind of probe to work out whether it makes sense him coming back and defending that corner, or to get some profit there before playing the corner move.
Maybe. I'm thinking And I know his game well enough, and I know him well enough. I can read his mind somewhat. If we look at this black move, and let's just look at, let's just pretend here. See that white group? See the weak nature? I mean, at the moment, it has no eyes, right?
Yeah.
And we actually, let's get the timing correct. So, black to play. Black, Sente, Sente, turn. So it's not in any way out of the realm of possibility. And black can choose this at some future. So, if white's concerned about this, how big is this black area getting? It's getting huge. Based on how big this can get with some Sente, this is starting to make a lot of sense. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Does make sense, yeah.
So if I'm going to read his mind, that's what I would think he would why he would do it. Boom, boom. Oh, okay. This is actually standard stuff. White gets the outside. Now there's a ladder involved. But white's done such good work so far. He can still take his regular corner, and black's on the second line. Threat. Threat. And now, black's played a lot of second line moves. White's accomplished a great deal, and I don't see if we capture the stone, do we really even have any points here? It's not so important. Not only that, but if black runs out and captures the 3, it's no longer sizable, and it takes a number of moves. So white should play away. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, and those that the J5 and the K5 stones really help that white group as well.
Yeah. There's no way in the world white's going to submit here. But the why is important. The A group is nearly alive, plus it can run out to, there's so many things going on for white around B that running is easy. C's behind enemy lines because of D, so of course white's going to come out. That really would have shocked me if he didn't. I would have gone, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Telling Mr. Yang what he has to do. It's out. Okay, so Mr. Yang wants to be efficient here. How do we use the A stones? Shall we use them to take the points on the left? No, way too small. Shall we use them to attack black? No, we're not going to be killing black. Shall we use it to use all the Aji around B? Yeah, we've come close. I betcha. Yeah. Pretty.
I didn't really see that RG, to be honest. That black group looked pretty strong and sturdy to me. But of course that peep opens up some problems.
That's nasty. Okay, now if white comes down, this could, yeah, this is getting difficult. Up to here, this is a big threat, right? Lots of Sente everywhere. Okay, time to get out, connect home, connect. And now, oh, that's big. Oh, well, I can't do much here. because the Atari's coming up. Nice. Sente and grow. Very nice sequence. Mr. Yang. Not only that, Black's whole group on the left has maybe one eye. Very nice. Gosh,
It,
that's
it looked
pretty.
like for a second that White was giving up that corner, but actually he hasn't at all.
Yeah, at all.
So lack of liberties.
Wow. That is so I love watching his games. Big Atari. He's got to live, and then we take care, which is an end game. So he starts end game, and what a big end game that is.
Lance, can you talk about that Atari? You said a big Atari, but you think that if it was a big Atari, Black would probably respond. Um,
Well, there's a couple problems. Did A get out? Or is it behind enemy lines? This line is easy to see, right?
mm,
This line's easy to see. So very hard to Black to get out on the right. What about straight down? Well, White can draw this line. White can draw a line underneath. Black is really quite in a surrounded state, and he's not alive. So this Atari, so maybe Black should have played there now, is perhaps what you're saying.
mm.
But then again, he's not out. And that Sente, yeah. Black is weak for sure and behind. So he's like, I need to do something here. And then lives. So I didn't do a great job answering your question, but I think it was all good and appropriate. And now we're just down to endgame. Good.
Wonderful, thank you.
That was fun, George.
Yeah, great, Lance. Have a nice day.